So another wonderful moment to enjoy the beautiful world of algebra is upon us. We are in Chapter 2, Section 6 of your book. The page is 114, and we're going to start off with a little bit of vocabulary. So the first word is ratio, and a ratio is either written as something like this or as a fraction. And I'm going to say that these two ratios, well, they are equivalent, but this is going to be the number of boys in the class, and this is going to be the total number of students in the class. Now, a lot of times ratios would also be written as the two different parts. So 13 boys to 19 girls. You just always need to know what the words are to make it make sense to you. So we're going to work with this fraction, actually, that ratio, and we're going to put it into a proportion. So a proportion is two ratios that are equivalent. So we could say that 13 over 32 is equal to doubling both, 26 over 64. We could also say that 13 over 32 would have to be, if there's 750 students in our school, how many boys would that have to be? So we could set up a little problem to solve. And when you have two fractions equal to each other with nothing added or subtracted, the easiest way to solve is to cross multiply. So essentially we are multiplying by 750, and we are also multiplying by 32. So 32 times b would be 32b. And 750 times 13, I'm grabbing a calculator, would be 9,750. And then to solve this problem, to isolate the b, you would undo 32 times b through division. And you would get 304.68. So that proportion, boys to girls, would be 304.68. What did I do first? Boys to girls. And then you would have to minus that from 750 minus the 304 to get the 445.31. Boys to girls. Proportion. Now, we're going to talk about rates and unit rates. And then we're going to convert rates. So a rate is just, I might drive 70 miles per hour. So 70 miles per 1 hour is a unit rate. That's when we are getting all the way down to 1 as the base unit, which you're dividing by. Well, the rate is still miles per hour, even if I drive 140 miles in 2 hours. So if you just divide that out and get the denominator to 1, that's when you have your unit rate. It's easiest to convert if you reduce things to unit rates. Let's say we know that a seahorse swims at 52.68 feet per hour. And we want to convert that to inches per second. All right. First, we're going to convert the hours to minutes and then the minutes to the seconds. So I'm going to just rewrite this problem. We know there are 60 minutes in an hour, so the word hours is on the bottom. To cancel the word hours, you would need the word hours on top. And since we know there are 60 minutes in 1 hour, multiplying by 1 over 60 is actually multiplying by 1 because this is the number 1. It's a conversion, so you can multiply by that. Now we still need to get minutes to seconds. So the word minutes is on the bottom, so we need to put the word minutes on top and seconds on the bottom, and there are 60 seconds in 1 minute. So to get from hours to minutes, we're going to be dividing by 60 times 60, which is 3,600. It also asks to get to inches, and we're at feet. And the feet word is on top. So to convert feet, we would need to multiply by something where feet is on the bottom, because that's how the word feet would cancel, and inches would be on top. And there are 12 inches in 1 foot. So that number is also just like 1. So you can multiply this directly across. 52.68 divided by 60 divided by 60 again, and then times 12. So in seconds, that is 0.1756 inches every second. And we're going to go back and look at this ginormous fraction. See the word feet? You can cancel the word feet on top with the word feet on the bottom, not the numbers, just the word. See the word hours? You can cancel the word hours on the bottom with the word hours on top. See the word minutes. You can cancel the word minute on the bottom with the word minute on top. And then you are left with inches and seconds, and that's what we are left with in the final problem. Let's do another conversion. Let's say you study 2 hours per day, and you want to convert that to figure out how many minutes you're going to study per year. Minutes per year. Let me just write that, minutes per year. This is our end goal. Minutes over years. So, the word day is on the bottom, and we want to get to years. Well, there are 365 days, what is it, 0.2 days per year because of leap year. Reminder to clear your calculator is second plus 712. And 365.2 times 2, you probably could have done this in your brain. Oh my. There are 2 times. is 730.4. So we have hours over years. Now we can convert hours to minutes. So we know that there are 60 minutes in an hour. The word hours is on top. So to cancel that word, the word hours needs to be on the bottom, which leaves the word minutes on top. 60 minutes in 1 hour. So to make this conversion, I'm going to cross off the word hour. We're just going to multiply that number by 60. So times 60. 43824. And then the units are minutes over years, just like the initial question asked. All right, I'm going to have you try one now. Let's say you sleep a lovely 8 hours per day. See if you can figure out how many seconds you will sleep per year. So go ahead and hit pause, see what you come up with, and now we will check it. So to convert days to years, there are the word days on the bottom, so the word days needs to go on top so that they cancel. 365.2 days per 1 year. Then we're going to convert days to minutes, or days to minutes. Then we're going to convert hours to minutes and then minutes to seconds. So right now we could cross off the word day, and I feel like maybe we should just do this fraction right now. So hold on. 365.2 times 8. 1460.8. hours per year. Now, the word hours is on top, so the word hours needs to go on the bottom. How many minutes are in an hour? 60, and I really think you could do another conversion. Cross off the word hours. Now we need to get rid of the word minutes. The word minute is on top, so it needs to go onto the bottom. And there are 60 seconds in 1 minute. So basically, if you multiply 1460.8 times 3600, which is what 60 times 60 is, you'll get your answer. Or you could just do times 60 times 60. So 5,258,880. And the word minutes cancels, so you're left with seconds per year. See why every second is so precious? A greyhound can run 43 miles per hour, and I want to know how many feet per second that is. And a greyhound is the second fastest land animal. Fun fact of your day. Okay, so you can for sure convert hours to seconds. And the other conversion, which maybe you know, maybe you don't, is that there's 5,280 feet in a mile. Fun fact. All right, so hours to seconds. If you want, you can try this on your own. So the word hours is on the bottom, which means hours on top. Can we go straight to seconds? Multiplying by 3,600. So 43 divided by 3,600. Oh boy. .011944. Miles per second. And then see if that makes sense. I mean, that should make sense. Because in 1 second, you're not going to go that incredibly far. And then we're going to convert miles to feet. Well, the word miles is on top. So the word miles needs to go on the bottom, which means the word feet is on top. And if you did not know, you could have Googled how many feet in a mile, and you would get 5280. So we're going to go back to the calculator, multiply our decimal by 5280. And your final answer is 63.066 repeating. And then the units, the miles cancel, so what we're left with is the feet per the second. So every second a Greyhound is running or going 63 feet if it runs at 43 miles per hour. That's pretty fascinating. All right, and then the other little thing for these conversions is the metric table. I think you're doing this in science right now. So if you have like meters, you have centimeters, decimeters.
In science, you are going to be doing the metric conversion table in very, very shortly, unless you've done it already. And I'm just going to sort of explain what that means. So the units are meters, measuring ones are deca, then hecto, and then kilo. So if you have 1 meter, there are 10 decimeters in 1 meter. There are 100 centimeters in 1 meter. And there are 1,000 millimeters in 1 meter. So these are smaller. And then for decameters or liters or grams, there is 0.1 decameter in 1 meter. There's 0.01 hectometers in 1 meter. And there's 0.001 kilometers. So you need to sort of realize that this is the largest side, and this is the smallest side. Because a lot of times in, how do I say this right? Okay, so sometimes people think of it as millimeters is equal to 1 meter. So if you have the meter, convert it to millimeters, you're going to multiply bigger. But if you're talking about like how many millimeters are in a meter, it's 0.001 of a meter, or it's 1,000 millimeters in a meter. So if you sort of understand the size, then you'll kind of know which way to think. So there's a decameter is 10 times a meter, a hectometer is 100 times a meter, and a kilometer is 1,000 times a meter. Okay, so I'm going to give you a conversion to do. The world's longest guinea pig record jump is 48 centimeters. Now, to me, centimeters don't mean a whole lot. I know that a meter stick is a meter, so I know that 1 meter is a little over 3 feet. But conversions, we can convert this. There are 100 centimeters in 1 meter. So when we multiply this to conversion, goes on top. And there are 100 centimeters in 1 meter. So to write centimeters into meters, you're going to do 48 divided by 100. Which is 0.4. If you're understanding this, you can take this and just move it back to. So 0.48 meters is the jump of a guinea pig. So that's like half a meter stick, which is pretty impressive for a guinea pig. They're not that large. 48 meters is the same exact thing. In fact, so if something is 48 meters, you're going to have a heck of a lot more of them if you're measuring it in terms of millimeters. And then if you're measuring it in terms of decameters, it's going to be 0.048. Move the decimal back. And then in terms of hectometers, 0.0048. And in terms of kilometers, 0.00048, because you're just moving the decimal each time. So you move it from here to get deca. Here is where deca was to here to get hecto, which is where hecto was to here to get kilo. So a kilometer is a huge measure. It's not very meaningful to understand this with a kilometer. Like, hopefully you know this. All right, here's a conversion chart from online. If it helps you understand this at all, you can even Google conversion charts, and that will help you as well.
Like this. And that is just saying that a kilo is 1,000 times the unit meter. So that's telling you how much bigger it is. Not to be confused with what I wrote, which is what you're going to multiply by to convert. I got very excited about jumping into the whole conversion. So I want to just go back to proportions for a minute. And if you have a proportion with a plus or a minus in it, you can still solve that by cross multiplying, because in these fractions, these are grouped. The only thing you can't solve by cross multiplying is if you have like x plus over 6 plus 2 equals 3 over 8. That is not solved by cross multiplying. Cannot cross multiply. You'd have to subtract the two, get the numbers together, and then cross multiply. But over here on the left, you can cross multiply. So this would be 1 times x plus 10 equals 8 times 12, which is 96. So you would distribute the 1, which doesn't change anything. You could always put a 1 in front of the x. And then you would subtract the 10 from both sides, getting x equals 86. So I'm just going to give you one to try. Three over 16 equals x plus 2 over 12. So go ahead and hit pause, see what you come up with. Alright, so you would need to distribute this 16. So 16x plus 32 equals 36. You would then need to bring the numbers together. So 16x equals 4. And then your last step would be to divide by 16. And really the best way to leave this answer is a fraction. And there are 4 4s in 16, so 1/4 is the best answer. You could put 0.25, but that's even better. All right, I hope you are loving math as much as I hope you do. Have a great evening.